Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Conservative MP Raquel Dancho was speaking at the Standing Committee on Public Safety and National Security, and she goes full beast mode on Justin Trudeau and absolutely destroys him and his government. We're going to watch that in a sec, but first, during Justin Trudeau's testimony, he dropped some absolute bombshells that are not getting any media support. Of course, because we're living in the land of Trudeau Media Corp. It's crazy. This is from the Economic Times. It says, no hard proof. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau admits he had no evidence against India regarding Nijar's killing. Silence over here in Canada over this. This is huge. In India and everywhere else around the world right now in their media, they are blasting Justin Trudeau for accusing India of murdering this Nijar in Canada, murdering a Canadian citizen without any evidence, without any hard proof at all. He is just running his mouth off. And he said that Jordan Peterson and Tucker Carlson are getting paid by Russia to spread misinformation and disinformation. Justin Trudeau, by saying this, is spreading misinformation and disinformation. So Jordan Peterson says he is considering legal action after Trudeau accused him of taking Russian money. Quote, I don't think it's reasonable for the Prime Minister of the country to basically label me a traitor, said Jordan Peterson. It's astounding. Conservative media personality Jordan Peterson says he is looking into legal action after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said this week that Peterson is receiving funding from Russia state-owned media outlet RT. Right after that, on Twitter X, Jordan Peterson sent out a tweet message to everybody saying, where's my money then? Where is it? There is no proof. And right after this happened, I said, Justin Trudeau he's going to have to pay for saying this. This is defamation. Liberal MP Mark Gerritsen did the exact same thing, saying all these people are all getting paid by Russia. He had to apologize. That was a lie. The Liberal government is saying that they want to champion the fight against misinformation, disinformation, and they are literally spreading all of the lies. All of it. It truly is astounding that anybody would even think of supporting them at this point, especially in British Columbia. You would think after all of these years of watching your province completely get destroyed, you would think maybe not voting for a communist socialist government? Seriously? Maybe elect a government that is pro-market and will give you choice and maybe take the chains off and maybe get some revenue rolling in and clean up the streets. Anyway, that's a whole other topic altogether. Here is Raquel Dancho absolutely destroying Justin Trudeau.
It's interesting, Miss May's stories from her perspective when she's read the unredacted NSCOP report to now seems to have changed quite a bit in tone and scope. So I just find that interesting that her perspective has changed just a recent.
Sorry to stop it there. For those of you that don't know, Elizabeth May read the unredacted NSCOP report like a month ago or something like that. And she said, there are no traitors in government. There is no reason to even read this thing. And now all of a sudden, Elizabeth May, these crocodile tears, is saying our national security is at risk. Pierre Poilievre must read this. He must protect us. Blah, blah, blah. And that's why Raquel Dancho was saying, I think it's interesting how Elizabeth May has flopped within the last few days. Here we go.
And I think what's really important for this committee to remember, and certainly Canadians will, that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, had to be dragged kicking and screaming into this foreign interference inquiry. You'll remember, Mr. Chair, that he had first denied there was any election interference from China, for example, denied anything was going on with the member of Don Valley North in that nomination. And yet here we are in a foreign interference inquiry, and not only is there clear interference from China, but also from India, and from Iran and Pakistan and Russia. We have, in fact, at the worst point in history when it comes to foreign interference, and we've had the same Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, for 9 years. So what does that say about his leadership or lack thereof? And I would also point out that the person in this country most responsible for foreign interference and preventing it and keeping national security safe is the Prime Minister of Canada. And so if we've had the same Prime Minister of Canada, and now this has come to such a point that 13 individuals, the RCMP had to announce 13 individuals are in peril because foreign interference has gotten so bad, what does that really say about his leadership? So what's interesting to me is that in the foreign interference inquiry, which he's made a farce of with his recent partisan attacks, that he's really trying to do two things. Number one, distract from his failed record to prevent foreign interference in this country. The fact that he's created an environment that's worse than ever at any time in Canadian history of foreign interference, that other foreign adversaries and others feel that we are a weak country, that they can bully under Prime Minister Trudeau's so-called leadership. And the second thing, of course, Mr. Chair, is that the Prime Minister is trying to distract from the fact that he has an ongoing revolt in his caucus looking to overthrow him. So it's no wonder why he's doing this, but certainly if he continues, as my colleague said, to weaponize this, then he should release the names, because Canadians deserve to know who it is in Parliament right now or in the past who has been undermining the national interest on purpose to aid a foreign country. They absolutely deserve to know that, and those individuals need to be held accountable. And I would also say that it's interesting that he won't do so, and I wonder why that is. Well, perhaps it's because out of any party, it makes the Liberal Party look bad. Again, he was the one who denied that there was election interference from China, for example. He's the one who denied there was any issue here at all, and yet here we are. So he continues to deny that there's any issue there, but I would suspect that's why he's not releasing the name. So I think we could put this to bed. It's rapidly devolving into some McCarthy witch hunt as a result of the Prime Minister's actions, and I think we can easily clear this up today by releasing the names. Canadians deserve to know, and the Prime Minister should be showing leadership in this regard and ensuring that he's actually taking action on this intelligence. And I would say in the last thing, Mr. Chair, that it's not clear why we're taking intelligence if we're not able to utilize it to ensure that these individuals are held accountable. And if they're semi-witting or unwittingly knowing, then they should know, and they should be informed. And so I think it is imperative that Parliament learn who these people are, if any, and move forward with that information. And Mr. Chair, I'd also say that, again, the responsibility for national security lies with the Prime Minister. The only reason we are here is because he's failed to protect that, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And because he is lying. The most disturbing part of all of this is that these members of Parliament aren't speaking up themselves. They hate this country so much so that it is still business as usual for them. They do not care about us. They do not care about the country or the democracy, which is another reason I think it's astounding that Canada allows members of Parliament to have dual citizenship. That blows my mind. It truly does. This is not a serious country. Raquel Dancho is absolutely 1,000% right. Release the names. It really is that simple. If this was a serious country, you would just release the names. And then this would all be done, and then we could get some justice, and then we could move forward. But Justin Trudeau definitely will not release the names, because then it will expose him for being what we already know, a liar. And a liar that is spreading misinformation and disinformation to just try and distract from all of his failures, which is himself. And he just can't have that. His ego just wouldn't be able to take it. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.